en essayant d'évaluer leur consistance par rapport
I think the IHRC was the proper mechanism, but it was cumbersome, and it took a lot of concentration and time to make decisions. A lot of people seem to think that our group, the Reconstruction Commission, was getting money. We didn't. We never took any donations. The donors put their money in a special account of the World Bank. And then when the IHRC approved the expenditures, then the proposal was funded by funds being released from the World Bank. What we did was, once the World Bank released the money for an approved project, we said, here's the project, here's what the money is, here's who got the money. And then after the money was spent, we had an after-action audit which evaluated how it was spent. And that's what we did. The 2 years that I was the co-chair of the IHRC, with the prime ministers of the governments of Preval and Martelly, that's what we did. And we had those reports, and people can find them, read them. It's all a matter of public record. But I never touched any of that money. I was always surprised that people would suggest that. Through the Clinton Foundation, I raised $30 million in emergency fundings, and President Bush and I together raised $50 million more. And all that money's been documented. 100% of it went to Haiti. And what we did with that, and building new businesses and things. And then I set up a Haiti Action Network with an alliance of business people, and they have, this is 9 years later, and we're still working at this, almost 10 years. They have raised and deployed more than $500 million. Now, along the way, we've had some setbacks. The iron market burned and was never properly insured, and now, because of all the domestic unrest, the Best Western's gonna close, and we don't know yet if we can save the Marriott. But in terms of what we did, I think we ran up a pretty good score. We raised a lot of money, created a lot of jobs, helped a lot of existing Haitian businesses to expand, and supported a lot of NGOs that were Haitian and doing well. And I think I tried to build, the money that I raised, or the partners that I made, we were trying to build Haiti through the Haitians. I didn't want it to be an outside job. I wanted it to be an inside job. And a huge number of people were helped, but it couldn't overcome a lot of the self-inflicted wounds of all this political dysfunction in the last few years. So what I wanted to do was to develop energy efficient, water efficient, sanitary housing in a range of costs, anywhere from tiny houses, small houses at $2,000, up to what were quite comfortable houses at about $30,000. And we were going to construct model homes, and then have people come and look at it, and then try to develop a plan to build these houses, but the people that would buy them would have a lot of choices. And the real problem in the beginning was the difficulty in establishing title, which I still think is a problem the Haitians are going to have to solve. Since so much of this in Haiti is done sort of on an ad hoc basis, we still could have done a lot if there'd been strong support for it. But it may be that I overestimated what I thought would be the likelihood. I thought when people saw these things and saw how many jobs we could create and how many people we could move into homes and how good it would be for the economy, that there would be a new energy and willingness to resolve these land tithing problems. And I was wrong. And that's the one thing I feel bad. I feel so bad about that, because I worked so hard on it, and I was determined that it would be corruption-free, that it would all be over and above board. All these people who were selected. I think there were about 60 finalists, weren't there? Something like that. And I was determined that it would all be transparent. And, you know, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should have just been working on something else. I still believe that if you're going to build a modern society, you have to have a land titling system. I still love the country and I love the people, and I think they're highly intelligent and gifted in many ways that are common to poor people around the world, and in many ways that are unique to their culture and to the land. To me, a metaphor for the possibility of Haiti remains the citadel. Here we are after 200 years plus, or almost 200 years plus, and it's still the most impressive building in the Caribbean. Built by the descendants of slaves who not a single person had a college degree, not a single trained architect, dragging those heavy stones up straight, sheer cliffs. I mean, the thing that I would like people to know about Haiti is that there's a fundamental goodness and energy about the people and an almost unlimited capacity, and they've been worked over for 200 years by outsiders and then by their own people who got a hold of political power and used it very often the way outsiders had. And I don't think that this country will ever realize its full potential until it builds systems that bring everybody together and make good decisions in an open and honest way. I think, you know, but I'd do it again tomorrow, even with all the false charges that were raised about me and all that. I just love the place. I like the people, and I also can't stand to see unfulfilled potential. And I do believe that a lot of Haiti's problems historically have come from people outside and inside trying to take advantage of the people and their resources. And I think this is a very important time for us to try to rebuild it. But if you've got all these problems down there now, it's impossible. You can't get somebody to go invest in a country where there's nothing but riots and nothing but, you know, it's tough now.
On the 10th anniversary of the earthquake, what are your reflections about the country?
Well, I thought we did a good job of recovering in the immediate aftermath. A pretty good job of cleaning up and rebuilding Port-au-Prince. A fair job of trying to spread economic opportunity throughout the country. A good but uneven job of trying to empower the NGOs that were running schools and health clinics and other things. And we didn't do very well in eliminating the endemic problems of political and economic practices that just will never do anything but run off investors and break hearts. I mean, there's still too many people who want to take their ride on Haiti's back, and we've got to keep working. When Hillary and I went to Haiti on a delayed honeymoon in 1975, I fell in love with the place. I've always liked the people. I found many of them that I admire. I've always thought that it was crippled by a political system less worthy than the best of its people. And sooner or later, you know, you look at what's going on now, the country will rise or fall based on its ability to inspire confidence in Haitians and in neighbors and in investors and other people. And in themselves. And the kind of problems that we have down there very often involve things that nearly everybody knows shouldn't be done. And the Haitians are highly intelligent people. They know exactly how best to organize things, how best to do things. And I hope we can at least get back to the way we were, you know, back at the, you know, when I first went to work there. I think there's so much you could do in such a short time. It could be lightning fast. But people wear out. They wear out working in a place where there's always one more obstacle. And then people say, you didn't help us enough. Here, let me put this chain on your ankle. And so I think it's a work in progress. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's very, very bad now, all this trouble. And it would be a tragedy to let it go because of the people and their history. They've overcome so much. And yet, like most people, they live with a lot of self-inflicted wounds. And we're either going to do better or we're not. I hope we do better.